Do you know how to accept payments as a virtual yoga teacher? If you do, but you don't, and you're a little bit confused, that's what this video is about. It's all about how to get paid as a virtual yoga teacher teaching online classes. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 different ways that you can get paid as an online yoga teacher. For more advice and tips on becoming a confident yoga teacher, both online and offline, make sure to hit the subscribe button on this video, as well as that little bell icons to be notified when I upload new videos, so you can be the first to get these juicy tips. If we haven't met before, my name is Ashley. I am a yoga teacher, trainer, yoga studio owner. I love teaching yoga and also sharing how to make yoga more accessible through online means. And today I want to talk more about the business side and acting like a business for you and for all yoga teachers. If you don't act like a business, you can't get paid like one. So we need to change our mindset around yoga teaching and allow ourselves to become the yoga entrepreneurs that we are. So start thinking in terms of separating your bank accounts to track your income and expenses in your yoga business. You don't need to create a LLC or a complete business entity with the government, but you do need to be able to separate where your income is coming in. If you aren't making money as a business, then it's just an expensive hobby. And sure, that could be great, but if you're looking to actually get paid, and I know you are because you're watching this video, then we need to start acting more like a business. So how do online payments work when you're teaching virtual yoga? Here are the 5 ways. Number 1, you can ask for donations. I don't really like the phrase donations anymore unless you are actually donating to a cause or a charity. I like the phrase pay what you can a little bit better because you are a business. Remember, you are not charity. You are profiting off of people's payments. So it's more of a pay what you can to help out the people who are attending your classes. So that way they can pay the suggested rate of whatever the amount is or whatever they can pay. Some will pay more, some will pay less. It is important to have a suggested donation or pay what you can amount so people know what the appropriate value is for the class. So you might say it's a suggested rate of $10 or $15 or $20 or whatever it is. You would just say, hey, pay what you can class, suggested this amount, join me here. And then people would pay you, you would give them the link or the class or whatever it is, and all is well. So donation or pay what you can works. You can use PayPal. I recommend as a business that you have set up a PayPal account. You will also want to set up a Stripe account because that's another way that you can accept payments and actually send invoices. I don't have Venmo, but Venmo is something you could use. It is actually in the guidelines that you shouldn't be using it for business, but people do. So that is another way that you can accept payments. Same with the Cash App. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, people can mail a check, and it's a pay what you can method, usually class by class. The second way people can pay you for your virtual yoga classes is similar to the first, except you set a number. So you actually charge for the class and say you don't get access unless you pay this actual amount. So it's not a pay what you can, it's a $10 fee or a $20 fee or a 10 class package for $100 or something. So someone is paying you through, again, one of those apps. It could be Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. One thing I really actually like is PayPal.me. PayPal.me is simple to set up. You just set up a .me account, and it would be PayPal.me / your username that you choose. And then if you do /10, it'll auto-populate with someone to pay you $10. So you can check that out here. If you put in a number and another / number, it'll auto-populate, and people can change that though, so it's not going to stick to that. But you can also just give your PayPal.me account and it comes up with 0 and someone would put in the numbers. And you can set this up so it looks nice, and maybe it has your schedule on the top page and your face. Always putting your face because that's the most approachable thing. That's your brand, that's your business, that's who you are is you, your face, your smiling face. So PayPal.me is great, but there's still that back and forth. So you'll have to give people the link after they pay you, that kind of thing. It's not a preset scheduling software. Now you can use a scheduling software to do one-off payments, something like Acuity Scheduling or Schedulicity, where you set up a class, you would integrate Stripe or PayPal with that booking software, and then place that on your website or give someone the schedule and they can book that way. So that's a per class type of thing. The next way, the third way that you could collect payments for teaching online is to send an invoice. Let's say anyone who attends a class, you would collect payment from them afterwards. This is a little bit risky and a little bit tricky because it can feel awkward if you feel or they feel they didn't get what they paid for. You can send an invoice though if someone hasn't paid, or if they're paying for a 10 class package or a series. You can send an invoice through QuickBooks. If you use QuickBooks for bookkeeping, you can send an invoice through Stripe. You can sign up for Stripe for free. It's another way to collect payments. You can also send a request through PayPal or any of the other apps. So it's basically you requesting money, telling someone what the services are that they're buying, and then they would pay you. And you can also send an invoice prior to them purchasing by you just setting that up, almost like that paypal.me/my name/number is sort of like a quick invoice, but an actual invoice is make sure that someone can prove that they are purchasing, and it can be numbers. It's all business type stuff. So invoices. At this point, I would love to hear from you in a comment if you've used any of these methods for collecting payments as a virtual yoga teacher. Have you collected payments through PayPal, through Stripe, through invoices, through any of that? If so, what have you done? Leave a comment, and I'd love to hear your experience. The fourth way that you can set up payments is to do so with a class series, or someone is paying you in advance for a section or segment of classes, or maybe it's a 1 month membership to your specific class times. So instead of one class at a time someone is paying you for, you could have people pay you for the whole chunk of classes. So it's a one-time payment for multiple classes. I would recommend a scheduling software to do this, because then you can send reminders for these classes and make sure that the times are appropriate. And if you have multiple times per week, you might want people to be able to register for this specific class and know who's coming to class. If you're just running, let's say, a 4-week series, no big deal. You just promote it as a 4-week series at this specific time, at this day, each week. Someone could pay you through any of the softwares or through invoice, and you know they are signed up. And the last way that you can collect money as a virtual yoga teacher is to set up a membership or a subscription. Now, this is my favorite because this ensures that you are getting paid on an automatic basis, recurring, without having to do that back and forth or actually look at anything. It just plops into your bank account. So you can set this up again through Stripe, through PayPal, through a scheduling software like Acuity, through a course platform, something like Teachable or Thinkific. It's basically you making a course and then charging it as a subscription. So you could input your class recordings or any content that's helpful for your students inside the course, or maybe it's just where they pay. It's not even where they go for the classes. It's just set up to that's where they pay for that subscription, and they can cancel however you want them to cancel. You can also do this through a website called Patreon. I haven't used Patreon. Patreon is mostly for content creators. So you can have different tiers of memberships. Like if you pay $5 a month, you get one video a month. If you pay $10 a month, you get a video and a comment from me. And if you pay $20, it's just a way that you can get a little bit more the more tier or the higher up you are. So that's oftentimes for content creators. That could work really well if you put out a lot of free content or YouTube videos. So you can look into that yourself. But that's that recurring monthly automatic payment, and also is the best way to ensure that you are making the most revenue out of the content that you're creating. So again, it's my favorite. If you can jump to that membership style model of yoga teaching, you are in a good place. Whichever way you decide to take payments for your online yoga classes, remember to also have waivers, agreements, membership policies, refund policies, all of that spelled out. So it's obvious and your students and your members know what they're getting into and there's no confusion. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not offering legal advice. I just care about you and I want to make sure that everything is understood and everything is as seamless and easy as possible. Now that I've told you the 5 ways that you can accept payments as an online yoga teacher, it's your turn to go out and actually set some of these up. So set up a PayPal account, set up your Stripe account, possibly even tinker around with Acuity Scheduling, one of my favorite scheduling apps, and you can do that for free to get started, just to play around. I also would love it if you wanted to stay in touch with my community of over 4,000 yogis and yoga teachers over on Facebook in our Yoga Sequencing and Teaching Tips group. It's a great group and I have a lot of fun in there. I would love to see you there. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and you can even watch a couple of these videos so that you can gain a little bit more confidence as a new yoga teacher.